Hi everyone, in particular parents who might want to be helping their children with some of their maths work. Previous video focused on how to do the subtraction, that the way that kids are taught nowadays, not so much the way we were taught back in our day. Today what I'd like to focus on is how we do multiplication examples. If the kids have got their number facts really well organised and understood, this can be a very simple process. And I notice I use the term number facts rather than times tables, because if we see them as tables, there's 10 lots of 10, so there's really 100 equations to learn. But if we think of them as number facts, we can halve the amount of learning, and that's going to be something I'll do in a later on video. But I'd rather not see them as tables, but number facts, because 4 3s, 3 4s, it's interchangeable. So having that understanding, we halve the amount of learning to do. But what today's focus is, say if your kids have got to do 74 times 6 for whatever reason, I just want to give you a brief example of how we would set that out and how we would talk and the language we would use. But more importantly, when it becomes using two-digit numbers by two-digit numbers, for example, why we put a 0 in the ones column. There's a number of things that I hear people say to do. Even hear teachers saying, put the magic 0 down. It does my head in. There's nothing magic about it. There's a reason why we put a 0 in the ones when we multiply by the tens. So what I want to do is just do a couple of examples, show you what we would do, and it's also what I've seen as successful, some of the language that I've been able to use with the kids that's really helped kids that have really struggled with the concept of doing the multiplication algorithm. Finally, I'd really avoid doing example after example after example after example. I know when I was brought up at school, if you could do it, there's 10, good, here's another 10 more, or here's another 10 more. It was just doing it over and over again. And I know that practice always helps, but maybe we can create situations where there's a reason for working out 10 times 94, for example. You could equate it to sport and whatever. But anyway, here's just some brief examples of how you might be able to work through multiplication examples and equations with your children, and hopefully get rid of all that stress that often accompanies it. So parents, this is to help you. Right, hello, this is one way of doing multiplication. I'm going to do two digits, a random number, 47 times 3. I've seen lots of different ways of doing it. I'm just going to share with you the method that I've found successful with my teaching, and it seems to work with the kids. Many people might have alternative ways of doing it. This is just one way that I've found works for me. So I'm going to multiply by the ones first of all. So it's 3 ones multiplied by 7. So 3 sevens, 7 threes, I like to use interchangeability of it, is 21. Now for the kids having trouble, sometimes I do that. So there's 21, there's the ones. So we put that in the ones. The tens go over there, and I'm going to put it just briefly there. And why there? I could put it up the top. It's horses for courses. People like putting it wherever they like. I like to separate it a bit. Now I'm going to say 3 ones times 4 tens. 3 times 4 is 12. Then I add the other 2 tens onto it. That gives me 14 tens. And there's my answer, 141. A common error we see is this. Say for example, I said 3 sevens is 21. I put down the 1, I put the 2 there. Often the kids will see that as 6, and they'll say 3 times 6. That's very incorrect, because it's 47 times 10, not 67 times 10. So that's why it's important to multiply these two and then add the tens that have been regrouped. I'll do another example. Let's go random. Let's go 64 multiplied by 5. Once again, 5 times 4 is 20. So 2 10s, 0 1s. Let's represent that. There's no 1s, but there's 2 10s. We don't add it to that and make it 8 10s because it's 64 times 5, not 84. 5 times 6 is 30, plus the 2 10s that came when we regrouped the ones. 5 6s is 30, plus 2 is 32 10s, and there's our answer. Hopefully that might give you just an understanding of how to work with the kids, but mainly that we multiply and then we add what has been brought over from the ones. Now that we've covered 2 digits by 1, let's try 2 digits by 2. So here's 2 random numbers, 24 times 16. And often the kids will see this and think, oh, it's going to be harder. It's not. It's just doing the same process over again. Let's just do the ones. We're going to go 6 times 24. 6 fours is 24. I'm just going to take my extra 2 up there, just so I know that's close to that one. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. I've got 144. Now, multiplying by the 10s, instead of getting used to this idea of saying put the magic 0 down, it's no magic 0, so please, hopefully we can avoid using that language. We're going to go 10 times 4, or 4 times 10. We know that's 40. 4 10s. No 1s. 1 10 times 2 10s is 2. If you like. Here we go. This, I often do this sometimes with the kids to show them what we've done. That's the answer to 6 times 24. This is the answer to 10 times 24. If we add them together, we get 16 times 24. That often helps the kids. Let's add. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 1 plus 2 is 3. It's not a magic 0. Let's try another one. Random numbers. Let's go 47 multiplied by 28. Ignore the 10s for the moment. 8 times 7, 56, which is 6 and 5 10s. 8 times 4, 32, plus the other 5 10s, 37. That's the answer to 8 times 47. Now we're going to go to the 10s. 2 10s times 7 1s, or 7 times 2 10s, equals 14 10s. Now, think back to our regrouping. 14 10s is the same as 140. 14 10s, so it's going to be 4 10s, no 1s. We regroup, we've got 100 over there. 2 10s times 4 10s is 8, plus that other 10 is 9 10s. This is the answer to 8 times 47. This is the answer to 20 times 47. Let's add them together. 6 and 0, 6. 7 and 4, 11. We've regrouped. 9 and 1 is 10, and 3 is 13. Once again, I'll try and look for numbers that add together quickly. One more. Hopefully this is working for you. Let's go 34 times 28. Random. Multiply by the ones first. We're just going to break it up and then bring it all back together. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 3 is 24, plus the other 3 10s that came over, 27. That's the answer to 8 times 34. Now we're going to do 20 times 34. 4 times 2 10s, or 2 10s times 4 1s, is 8 10s, which is 80. 8 10s, no 1s. 2 10s times 3 10s is 6 10s. Let's add them up. 2. 7 and 8 is 15, which is 5 1s and a 10. 6 and 1 is 7, and 2 is 9. 9 952. We then can take it further. It's not harder, it's just the same steps over and over again. Bit of practice really helps before you do this with your kids, and then come up with ways to generate the numbers. Hopefully, parents, that will help you a little bit and relieve some of the stress. Good luck, and please let me know if I can help any further. Cheers.